Greetings, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I hope everyone had a great Father's Day and celebrated our wonderful fathers that are out there. I just want to say right now, just where you are, I just want you to just get into a nice, safe space and just say that I am valued, and I want you to just breathe it in right now. I am valued, and release those doubts. One more time, I want you to breathe it in. I am valued. Release those doubts. Again, I am valued. Breathe it in nice and slow. And I want you to release those doubts. One more time. I am valued. Breathe it in. Last time, release those doubts. It is always good just to take a breath and just breathe sometimes. And with that being said, I would like to welcome you to B.O.N.T, a safe space for healing, support, awareness, wellness, faith, and truth. And I am your host, Kira. Welcome, everyone. So, I have some questions that I would like to see if anyone would like to play a little game. So, we're going to just start off with some red flags versus some green flags. And this has to do with Juneteenth. So, I want to find out if we know why do we celebrate Juneteenth and how does that connect in with domestic violence? So, what it is, Juneteenth had women that were slaves that were also beaten and raped. And when you're dealing with domestic violence, they are beating and they are raped. So that's how Juneteenth ties in with domestic violence. So I want to just give you guys a little bit of history on why we celebrate Juneteenth. And the thing is, Juneteenth is now a national holiday. Why is it that some schools are closed and some schools are not closed? I don't understand it. If you're going to celebrate July the 4th, everything is closed. So why wouldn't Juneteenth be closed like all other schools? So this holiday is not being honored the way it really should be. So I want to give you a little bit of information about Juneteenth. Okay, so we're going to start right here with just the information on emancipation. Okay, so here we are. Now, when you go back to 1865, there were no laws in place to protect the slaves. Now we have laws in place that protect us against domestic violence. Back then in the 1920s, there were no laws to protect us against domestic violence. In fact, domestic violence was something when it happened, the police ignored it, red flag, and it was like brushed under the rug because it was okay for men to abuse women back then. And that was just the same thing that happened back in Juneteenth times when they raped the slaves, they beat the slaves. It's the same scenario. Just one is domestic violence, which now we have laws in play now that if you do anything dealing with domestic violence, you're going to jail. And the sad part about it is if you defend yourself in domestic violence, you're going to jail too. So it's like a double standard. So how do we deal with these type of things when we're innocent but we're protecting ourselves? Have anybody ever been going through healing? If you've been going through healing, let me see some butterflies. Okay, so I see we got some people that's healing. That's wonderful. Healing is wonderful and it takes time, but your faith is stronger than your fear, so you will definitely heal. It's just a process. Don't rush it. Just take your time. Take it day by day. You got to understand when you go through a trauma don't just happen overnight. It happens over time. So you have to give yourself a chance to heal over time and you can't rush it. Just take your time and just believe in yourself. That's the most important thing. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it and you will do it. So many people say, "Oh, I can't do it. I'm just going to throw in the towel." No, no, no. Do not throw in the towel. Believe in yourself because if you don't believe in you, nobody else will. You have to pour into yourself. Even when others put doubt, you have to say, "Yes, I can do it. Yes, I will do it." You can't sit there, "Oh, no, I don't want to try." Because the only thing you can do is when you try is either fail or succeed. That's the only thing that can happen, win or lose. But if you lose, you keep trying till you win. That's the best advice I can give you. If you lose, you keep trying till you win. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But you keep on fighting and you keep on pressing and you will win some too. Everything isn't easy. And we're so quick to give up. Oh, I can't do it. Don't ever say what you can't do. Always try. We have so many different narratives of how our mindset will have us to give up instead of a mindset of I will. I want to do it. I'm gonna do it. That's the mindset we have to have. Everything that I always wanted, I just pressed and pressed and pressed. It didn't happen overnight. You got to put in work. I had to put in a lot of work to get where I am today. A lot of work, and a lot of tears too. A lot of tears too, because everything that looked good is not good. And everything that seemed easy is not easy. It takes time and it takes patience and perseverance. So I was thinking about Father's Day weekend, and it was a very, very beautiful weekend. I was with my husband. It was beautiful. I was with my family. My brother threw a Father's Day cookout, which was very nice. And we took my husband out for Father's Day last night. And I just looked around at like all of the restaurants was empty. All of the vendors that be on every corner selling balloons and baskets for mothers, not one person was out selling anything for the fathers yesterday, not one person, and I thought that was really sad that why don't they do the same things they do for the mothers as the fathers? Because let me tell you, it's some mothers that do not take care of their children, just like it's some fathers that do not take care of their children. So every father shouldn't have to be persecuted because of the fact that a couple of fathers don't take care of their children or are deadbeats. We have to do better. It was really sad to me that we didn't have anything for the fathers. We have a lot of great dads out there, a lot of great sons out there, and they deserve to be celebrated because they are our kings and they are the leaders of our families. That's why so many families are broken now because we don't have that lead. We have to bring that back. The men have to step up and cater to these children way more than what they're doing. They have to step it up because our young generation, we need our men. We need our men to take lead in these homes. These children are off the chain right now. You can't even go to a basketball game without it being a shooting. We have to grab to our children. This is why I try to get a lot of different schools to get involved with bullying because that's one of the top things that is going on in all of the schools. I have a bullying program and I wanted to get all of the schools involved. But all of the schools are saying that they have to go through the board of education and they have to go through the mayor and I'm like, we need this awareness. It need to be in a curriculum. We need these things. And this is why I created this podcast for awareness. We need this in our community so desperately. We need somewhere for these kids to go in the summertime. Growing up, we had all types of summer camps, basketball camps, swimming lessons, all types of activities for the kids. These kids don't have anything, so what are they going to do? Self destruct. All of the monies that these cities and mayors are getting for the cities, they need to implement it in programs for these children for the summer. Everybody keep your children safe. I know there's going to be a lot of things that they're going to want to do, but you have to think about safety first. And the first thing I thought about, my grandson loved basketball, and I like to take him to little basketball games and things like that. And I thought about little kids that age being at the basketball game, getting trampled all over. It's just sad. Kids can't do anything or go anywhere. We just have to get every city and every state together so these kids can have more structure and more structure in the schools. And we need to form more programs for our children so they can be more productive besides just playing the video games. Everybody say, "Oh, the kids play the video games all day," but what else do they have to do? It's nothing else. So what are they going to do? Play the video games. So what's your take on that? Drop it in the comments. Okay. I see some comments coming in. Yeah, so it's just like a bunch of different situations that we have right here in our cities. Right here in our cities, we have child sex trafficking. It's going on heavy in our cities. Every other week, a kid is missing. And this is my thing. When they say the kid has been found, my question is, where were they at for 3 and 4 days? Where were they? Were they abducted? Did they run away? Like, where were they for 3 days? They were missing. Where were the children at? No one ever posts where they were. They just say found. If there's a predator in the area that are abducting these children, that need to be stated on social media posted on every post, letting every neighborhood know that this person was abducted, that there is a child sex trafficker in the area. If you just post that they was found, you could be thinking that they was at a friend house or anything. So that's what it can be like kind of confusing when they say they're missing and then they're found because there's so much child sex trafficking that's going on, picking these little girls up and they're dealing with the girls that are being bullied, the girls that don't have no friends. They're finding them on all of these crazy other pages. They're not called child sex trafficking, but they call it like dating men or something, and the young girls are finding them. So you have to really watch what your children are doing on their phones because you never know who can be a predator because they are on all of these social media websites. So we have to watch that with our children, especially for the summer. If you, like me, a working mom and your children are home, you definitely want to watch what they are doing on those phones because you never know who is on the other line that they could be talking to. So that's something we need to definitely look out for the summer. Another thing we need to make sure parents that have children that are in school, they have a program that's called It Doesn't Matter How Much Money You Make. If you have a kid that is in public school, you are eligible to get food stamps for the summer for that child. So all parents need to tap into that, expensive as food is. If you have kids that are in school, you are supposed to get summer food stamps for that child. Check into it. See, it's a lot of stuff and a lot of information that if you don't know, you won't know. But on this podcast here, everything that I find out, I'm going to let the community know because it's needed in our community. And we need somebody with a voice that's going to make it known. And we have maybe about another 20 minutes left for this podcast. So if you guys are ready, I would like to share with you some strong affirmations that when you're feeling down or you're feeling like you just can't keep up or you're just having a bad day, I have some strong affirmations that will really, really, really help you. And if you do this every day, it will be a part of your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. And when you're having a bad day at work, you'll think about these strong affirmations that I'm about to share with you guys. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull them up for you. All right. So sometimes we have those bad days and we just sit there and we just like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just having this bad, terrible day, and I just feel like I want to give up. So the first one I'm gonna tell you is never give up on you. Never give up on you. Again, never give up on you. That's a very, very strong affirmation, and it's a reminder. Every time you want to give up, you say, no, I can never give up on me. Another strong affirmation that I go with is my faith is stronger than my fear. My faith is stronger than my fear. My next strong affirmation is I am unstoppable with no limits. meaning I will not be stopped and I have no limits. So I am unstoppable with no limits. I am amazing. And you just say those things to yourself, even when you're having a bad day. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit today about PTSD because this is the month of June and this is our awareness for this month is PTSD. And we have several different kinds of PTSD. And you can get PTSD from several different things. You can get it from a trauma, you can get it from an accident, you can even get it from loss of a loved one. So PTSD is post traumatic stress disorder, and it's caused by mental wellness. Now, when we're dealing with PTSD, it is different ways that you can cope with it. You can get support, you can get therapy, self care, and also community support will help. Because remember, when people have PTSD, they have sudden anger, emotional shutdowns, and sometimes they can even be violent towards you, and sometimes they can isolate from you. But one of the main things that they have is trust issues, and they can feel withdrawn, so you cannot pressure them. You have to definitely give them their space and see if you can seek some type of medical help for them. It can cause sleeping disorders, nightmares, insomnia, at the point where they don't even want to go to sleep. Some people use drugs and alcohol just to deal with it. Some people are very, very depressed from it, where they feel like they're lost, no motivation, and they just very down and depressed. And some people are overwhelmed and they have panic attacks and they have a lot of fear. So PTSD is just not like oh, I have no. It's very very serious. So if you know anyone that is dealing with it, it is very 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 important to seek medical attention to get that help because many people struggle with the trust. They feel unsafe. They feel betrayed. They feel hurt. They feel abandoned. If someone was abused, manipulated, or lied to, or harmed by someone, it's going to be very difficult for them to trust again. And survivors may begin to feel hurt again, or misjudged, or misunderstood. So that healing takes a long time for them. And it takes a lot of time for them to rebuild the trust again. So we have to remember that when you're dealing with people that's dealing with PTSD. And I'ma tell you, this is a true story. I know someone that had got their leg amputated, and through the amputation process, they became sheltered. They became very, very mean. They blamed everybody else for it. So they were really dealing with a very chronic part of PTSD. So it's very true. I'm a witness to it. I saw it with my own eyes, how a person just like really like changed from night to day because of the trauma that they had. And it turned, very angry, very bitter. That's how they are. They're self blaming. you all the time, and it's ugly, and it makes you feel bad, and it also makes you upset too because it's someone that you're trying to help, but they're blaming you for their trauma. So I definitely can relate to the PTSD and how a tragic accident can cause it. Even the loss of a loved one can cause PTSD. I know several people that have lost their children to gun violence, and it was very bad. It was very, very bad. They were very depressed, and PTSD is also depression. And with them being depressed and isolating themselves from everybody and not talking to anyone anymore, it just became like they weren't there anymore. You would see them and talk to them, and they would just be like totally somewhere else. So, if it's untreated, it can cause a severe mental condition. It definitely can. So that's what we're dealing with for the month of June. PTSD, Juneteenth, Father's Day. And speaking of Father's Day and of the men, all this is also Health Month for the men. So the men must go and just get everything checked out. It's better to be safe than sorry, but this is free health checkup for men. Um, I have some information, but I don't have it with me right at this moment, but I will post it up for the men so they can go get it checked out. And that's about all I have left with any wellness for the men. And we were talking about the PTSD, and I just wanted to get into some red flags for you guys. So, you have experiences where you meet different people when you're dealing with business as an entrepreneur and as a nonprofit, and you meet people when you partner with them. And everyone that you partner with is not always on the same mission that you are. And sometimes you find these things out the hard way. But my best advice to anybody that is partnering with anybody is make sure when you do it, you have that total agreement with everything that you want to do and that everything is a contract. That is something very, very, very important to make sure everything is in writing. Make sure you do a contract. Make sure everything is in writing because that's how we learn lessons when we don't get everything in writing. So, any entrepreneur, nonprofit, LLC, if you feel like you want to do a nonprofit or you feel like you want to do a LLC and you want to just like join someone else's business, make sure everything is in writing. Because when you do things by, oh, I trust this person and I'm going to go on the word. Don't do it. Don't do it. It breaks up friendships. It causes enemies. Do not do it. Do not do it. It's best if you're going to try to do any type of business, you do it with someone that you don't know. So it's a and someone that don't know anybody in your family. It's best that you start off a fresh slate with a stranger and then build a bond, build a relationship, but just make sure that that person is on the same mission as you because if you are on the I's and they are on the W's, it's not going to match. So make sure that they're on the same page as you. Because even sometimes they can say, oh, well, you do this and I do that, and we can tie it in together. It will never work. I'm telling you from experience, it will never work. That's why for so many years I have did all of my awareness, my outreach, my white affairs, everything by myself. I've never partnered with anyone, and that's the reason why. I love being by myself because I could depend on me. I don't have to worry about, "Oh, you can't do it today, maybe tomorrow." I don't have to worry about none of that. I can just do what I need to do and have it done. My goal is if I can do anything for anyone in my community that is suffering with domestic violence, bullying, any kind of trauma, I'm going to do my very best that I can to pour into them, encourage them, support them, and help them get the services that they need because it's needed in every community. It's always someone that is suffering in silence, and it's always someone that you know that is suffering in silence because that's what everyone does. Even some men suffer in silence, but they will not say it because they're men. So that's what we want to do. We want to break the suffering in silence. We want to get it out of our community. We want to get it out of our households. We want to get it out. We want to stop the violence. We want to stop the guns. We want to stop the knives. We want to stop the fighting. We want to stop the bullying. Like all of this stuff needs to be stopped. We want to stop this child sex trafficking that's going on. We want to stop the child abuse that's going on. Kids going to bed hungry. Let's talk about it. We want to stop these things. I never went to bed hungry. It'd be so sad to hear kids going to bed hungry, kids going to school with dirty clothes, kids not being helped with their homework. Come on here, y'all. Kids not being helped with their homework. Bring the homework back to school. Every problem wrong because nobody at home could help them. Sad. We need all this awareness, right? Just right in our communities. They need these after school programs to help the kids with the homework for the working parents that are working. They need these programs. More parents need to go to the PTA meetings, and if more parents show up for the PTA meetings, I really believe more would be done, but that's the issue. Nobody shows up to the PTA meetings, so they play with us. They do what they want to do. It'd be 3 or 4 parents showing up for a whole school. Come on, we gotta have more engagement. I feel that a lot. Someone just said that PTAs don't help like they supposed to. And I agree with that. But I also feel like if more parents showed up for the PTA meeting, it would be better. And we could probably get more from the Board of Education if more parents showed up. The school lunches are horrible. It looked like they feeding the kids dog food. The school lunches are horrible. The kids don't even eat it. I work with 4th graders every day, and they say how horrible the food lunch is, and I see them throw the whole tray of food in the garbage. Don't even eat it, just throw the whole thing in the garbage. If it's a fruit or something on the tray, yeah, they might eat that, but the rest of it go in the garbage. They never eat the school lunch. That's terrible. So all of these things need to be discussed at these board meetings. We have to show up for them. Nothing is gonna get done if we don't show up. Yeah, and somebody said when we show up, it still don't be results. Yeah, but we gotta keep showing up. It ain't gonna take one time. You gotta keep doing it. Nothing works overnight. Anything you do, you have to keep giving your all and keep putting in. It ain't gonna happen overnight. It ain't gonna happen just one time. You gotta show up frequently for those PTA meetings, frequently to those Board of Education meetings. I used to go to the PTA meetings to know what's going on, back to school night, all that. Yeah, I used to go because I wanted to know what my children were doing, how they were doing. Yeah, and I had 4 that was in school, so yeah, I definitely had went to the schools, to the, PTA meetings, yeah. My son played basketball, I was very in tune to the basketball games, I was there with snacks and everything for the team, yeah. I was very engaged. And this is what it has to get back to, parents being more engaged. And this other thing that just pisses my life off, this No Child Left Behind. Now, back when we was coming to school, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, all the way up into 8th grade, if you failed one subject, they were ready to keep you back. Now, these kids are failing reading, math, and English, and they're still being passed with this no kid left behind. But in reality, they are really left behind because what did they learn? Nothing. And it just make me mad that they have this no kid left behind. They're not learning. So they are really left behind. So they're going to the 7th grade and they're on the 2nd grade level. So are they behind? Yes. So these are the type of issues that we need to be discussing and we need to show up for, because if this was back when my children was little, if my son was going to the 7th grade and he got Fs the whole year and they passed him to the 8th grade and he's on the 2nd grade level, no way. No. Keep him back. No. Absolutely not. So I really disagree with that no kid left behind. I disagree with it. And if you disagree with it, put yes, I disagree. So those are some of the issues that really have to be handled within the Board of Education, because that No Child Left Behind, it makes no sense. And again, I said this before, we have to show up and talk about these things. If we don't talk about it, they're not going to do anything. And they're just going to keep on setting our children up for failure. That's what they're doing, setting them up for failure. Because they're going to get into high school and still passing, not knowing nothing. So you got to think about that. What's your comments? What's your thoughts? One thing I'ma always do is keep it 100 with my audience, and I'm going to tell you how I feel about things. Before we get ready to get out of here, this is the last part where we have our wellness. And I want you guys to get ready because we're going to get ready to breathe. All right, guys. I'm putting on some nice relaxing music. All right, here we are. All right, guys, I want you to get into this nice headspace, and I want you to sit down and just relax, and I want you to close your eyes. And right now, where we're going to breathe today is healing. I am healed. We're going to breathe that in nice and strong. I am healed, and I will never give up on me. So our first breath is I am healed. All right, ladies, gentlemen, breathe with me. I am healed. And I want you to release the pain. Again, I want you to breathe in, I am healed. Now release the pain. Again, breathe in, I am healed. Release the pain. One more time, I want you to breathe in, I am healed, nice and slow. I am healed. Release the pain. One more time, nice and slow. I am healed. I am healed. Breathe it in nice and slow. Release the pain. Next, I want you to breathe in, never give up on me. Breathe it in, never give up on me, and you're going to release the doubts. By the sound of my voice, breathe in, never give up on me. Breathe it in, everybody. Now release those doubts. Again, breathe in, never give up on me. Now release. One more time, nice and slow. Never give up on me. Release the doubts. The last and final time. Never give up on me. Breathe it in nice and slow. Now release the doubts. All right, everybody, open your eyes. How do you feel? Doesn't that feel amazing? Anytime you're having a bad day, just breathe. Let's just breathe. Breathing is very good energy. It's tranquility. And we will be back next week at 7:30. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you remember that your faith is always stronger than your fear and to never give up on you. You matter and you have purpose. And I am your host, Kara. See you next week. And remember, never give up on you.